Hi students, in this video we are going to look on the purification of colloids. We know that colloids or lyophobic colloids, mainly lyophobic colloids are prepared by different methods and adding stabilizer or something. So there will be a large amount of electrolyte or something. So for purification we have to remove the, if you want to get the pure colloids per particle, have to remove the unwanted impurities from there. There are two methods, mainly there are two methods for the purification of colloids, dialysis and ultrafiltration. So first we are going to check on the what is dialysis. For the dialysis, particles from those of crystalloid by means of diffusion through a suitable membrane. The colloidal particle cannot pass through a cellophane membrane. So here what we are going to do, we are taking a colloidal particle in a one membrane that diffuses only the very small particle of the impurities and it will not allow the colloidal particle. So the membrane which is used here, mainly the cellophane and such a compartment or cellophane, and cellophane membrane, the colloidal particle is filled with this filled in this cellophane membrane, and it is put or it is kept in the water containing beaker or somewhere. Then what will happen, the impurity particle, that like electrolyte or some other impurity will goes into the water, and the pure colloidal particle will be there in the cellophane membrane. So solely this impurities will diffuse into the water. Then the distilled water change frequently and to avoid accumulation of this crystalloid, otherwise they may start diffusing back into the back. So dialysis can be used for removing HCl from the ferric hydroxide salt. It is one example for the purification of ferric hydroxide salt. Okay. Then if you are using the water is hot water, then the diffusion rate will become fast, and that dialysis is known as hot dialysis. And in the case sometime in the water there are putting two electrodes and applying electric current. What will happen, process is that process is known as electrodialysis. That is a very slow usually dialysis is a very slow process. So increasing the rate, that we are using hot water or this electrodialysis process. So electrodialysis can accelerate the diffusion of impurity across the dialysis membrane. So next one is the ultrafiltration. Here the colloidal particle is filtered through this ultrafiltration membrane, that is mainly using semi-permeable membrane like cellophane, in which that colloidal particle retain there, or it will not allow the passage of this colloidal particle. Only small sized solute particle like electrolyte particle or solvent are go or diffuse through this or filtered this through this cellophane membrane by ultrafiltration method. So this is the ultrafiltration method for the purification. Next we are going to study the optical properties or different properties of solid salts. So first we are going to discuss about the optical property. We know that the size of the colloidal particle is 1 to 100 nanometers, so it is not visible to our eyes itself. So the next, the optical property. What means this optical property or Tyndall effect? Optical property or Tyndall effect is that when a beam of light passes through a colloidal solution and is then viewed in a right angles to it, a beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution and then viewed at right angles to the path of beam becomes visible as a bright streak. And this is due to the scattering of light by the colloidal particle and is known as Tyndall effect. A Tyndall solution if we are passing a beam of light and we are just observing that light from a right angles to the light, then we can see the path of this light. So how can we see this path of this light? It is just because the light particle gets scattered by this colloidal particle. This phenomena is known as Tyndall effect, and the illuminated path of light is called Tyndall beam or Tyndall cone. And this Tyndall effect is not visible visible by Tyndall effect is not observed in the case of true solution because the particle size is very small, so it is not possible to scatter the particle having that much size to scatter the light rays. So we can use the Tyndall effect to identify the true solutions and the colloidal solution. And also this Tyndall effect is of waves of shorter wavelength will be most intense portion of light scattered. Shorter wavelength light will be scattered more, so the most of the colors or pale colored soul has a bluish Tyndall beam. Shorter wavelength കൂടുതൽ scattered നടക്കുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഈ Tyndall effect നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു സൊല്യൂഷനിൽ ബ്ലൂയിഷ് ലൈറ്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് കാണാൻ പറ്റുക. So, and one more thing, Tyndall effect is observed only when the diameter of dispersed particle, is not much smaller than the wavelength of light used. And the diameter will be not much much smaller than the wavelength of the light beam, and there is a large difference in the refractive index of dispersion medium and dispersion space. These two conditions only we can see the Tyndall effect. So it will be more visible or more possible or more observable in the case of lyophobic, but because in the lyophilic it is not visible or it is not observed in the case of lyophilic because the dispersed particle is covered with this solvent molecule, so it will not undergo the scattering very much. So this lyophilic source, the Tyndall effect we can't see, or it will be very weak. Tyndall effect only can show in lyophilic source. And this Tyndall effect is applicable to find out the size or identifying detect the colloidal solution, that is ultra microscope, using ultra microscope. Ultra microscope phenomena, this Tyndall effect phenomena has been used to devise an instrument known as ultra microscope. What is happening there? Powerful source of light is passed through the solution. Before passing into the true solution, colloidal solution, there will be a lot of slit, and at last it's passed through a generally in lens, different types of lens, and then at last through the soul. Then the scattered beam is observed through the right angles to the beam. The colloidal particle can be detected at bright spot of light seen moving regularly against dark background. Colloidal particle can be then detected if you are spacing a microscope at right angle to the light beam, and we can see or detect the bright spot of light seen moving regularly against a dark background. It is the colloidal particles. So next property is the mechanical properties, that is, or kinetic property as Brownian motion. Brownian motion means as observed in the case of colloidal particle. And what will happen If a light of beam is passed, ceaseless erratic zigzag motion is exhibited by the colloidal particle is called a Brownian motion or Brownian. Or we can say that Brownian movement, it is the continuous zigzag movement of a colloidal particle in a dispersion medium. A colloidal solution is called a Brownian movement. It is due to the unequal bombardment of the colloidal particle by constantly moving molecules of the dispersion medium. During such bombardment, molecule of the medium impart momentum to the colloidal particle. Due to this non-uniform impact, the colloidal particle get knocked about here and there. So it will move like a zigzag motion. And this Brownian motion of salt particle is slower than the molecular motion because colloidal particles are considerably heavier than the molecule. Colloidal particles are considered heavier than the molecule. That is why Brownian motion of salt particle is slower than the molecular motion. So this Brownian movement decreases with increasing size of the colloidal particle. So this is why suspension do not exhibit this type of movement. It is only can see the Brownian movement in the colloidal particle. Thank you.